It's 2080, and world's population is 10.4 billion. Migration flows have become an everyday matter. It is a necessity. More land has become inhabitable for humans. Rising sea levels have swallowed entire villages and cities. Other places have become unbearable because of the constant heat or heavy rainfall. We are too many. The instability of constant migration has turned once thriving cultures into scattered memories. Families were torn apart by border policies, and already an entire generation grew up in camps or moving from one place to another, never knowing what home actually meant. We lost all sense of permanence, except for our place in society. That's the only certainty in life. Social mobility is a thing of the past. Over the last years, the socioeconomic gap between rich and poor has only become bigger. The rich did become richer and the poor poorer. Nowadays, everything has a price tag, even access to parks and greenery, which are often located on the rooftops of billionaires' skyscrapers. Cities now are a vertical graveyard where the living stack themselves higher, gasping for space and air, but finding only shadows and distant memories of what has been. We live in a forest of steel and sorrow, trees replaced by skyscrapers, photosynthesis replaced by air pollution. Adequate housing for all is a big issue. I live with 2 other families in this 4-bedroom apartment. A mother with her 2 little children. The dad passed away from respiratory disease, too much air pollution. The carbon vacuums they put up all around the globe don't do their job the way nature did, the way trees did. The room next to mine is rented by an elderly couple with their daughter. She has a disability. They had to move here since the cost of her medication started to build up. We are 700 in this building alone. We aren't even one of the tallest buildings in the city, neither one of the most densely populated, but it sure feels like it. From my window, I can see inside the kitchen of the apartment across the street, although I'm not sure you could call the alleyway in between our buildings an actual street. Garbage bins, stray cats and the occasional rat rule the small passage. I cannot open my window, or the smell of this alleyway being melted tarmac and burning trash would knock me out. Another side effect of the heat. This kitchen, visible through my window, seems to be my escape from reality. There must be 7 youngsters living there, all in their 20s. I can hear them laughing sometimes crying. I imagine them to be a tiny community, planning on starting a revolution to overrule the rich in their sky-high houses and rooftop gardens, to reinstall community life. Sometimes I even feel myself a part of their little family. Nevertheless, realization is always right around the corner. I sit alone in my 2x2 room. We are so many, yet we are so alone. Communities are thin spread. People are left to fend for themselves. It wasn't always like this. At the beginning, when extremes became more and more present, people would support each other. Initiatives popped up all around the world. Cooperation sprouted. Communities seemed to have grown tighter even. But somewhere along the way, we lost that. People had to constantly move places, had to focus on surviving, leaving them no energy to help sustain a livable planet. We are all drained. No community, no parks, no public spaces to decompress, no breath of fresh air, nowhere to be alone, nowhere quiet. We are so densely populated that even illness and epidemics have become the norm instead of the exception. Disease spreads as forest fires used to do in the late 20s. I don't know how much longer we will be able to live like this. I don't know how much longer I will be able to live like this.
Hello, my name is Ella, and it's year 2100. The air outside is unbearable. It is 42 degrees outside, and I just live outside a town in Finland. It's now winter. I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm a doctor, born in Germany but moved to the north due to climate change. Because I am a doctor, I am close to all supplies and hospitals, so I can protect myself and my family from the air pollution outside. At first, there was hope for change. China really changed during the years towards 2050. The world was gonna make it and reverse the global warming. But due to political reasons, it actually became worse. The USA found their partnership with China a threat when World War III began, so they bombed the European Parliament. There were a lot of victims, but the biggest issue was the radiation left behind. Belgium is a big no man's land since 2054. The fallout was so enormous that the life in the ocean was non-existent after this. This, together with global warming, caused the ocean to stop circulating. Therefore, many places were flooded and a lot of people needed to search asylum. The generation around 2050 failed big. They reached the tipping point. Scientists were wrong. Climate change happened even faster as they first predicted it, especially after World War III. The USA did nothing to regulate the climate change. Instead, they wanted to rule the world after Trump became president. They bombed anything together with Russia to have all the materials and to have the power all around the world. In the end, they just end up killing the planet and each other. All the space missions failed. We never could live on Mars. In the beginning years, wealthy people traveled to the moon. In 2053 was this ended to the huge amount of air pollution. Traffic by plane is now strictly forbidden in the European Union due to carbon emissions. The USA still does nothing, while people are dying all around the world. They knew around 2050 we were not gonna make it. Therefore, scientists tried to come up with a few solutions through new inventions. First, scientists tried to develop an air cleaning system that would protect us from the air pollution. In the beginning years, it worked very well, but then it broke down after 5 years of usage. It needed cobalt to get it restored, but the materials were not found on Earth anymore. At first, we tried to get this cobalt from old phones, but the massive companies of the USA began to rule the world to break down phones to get the cobalt and other usages from it. Only the richest of people could buy this to restore their own phones, cars, planes, and so on. The usage amounts went to, of course, Elon Musk to have more illegal space missions. The air is now so polluted that everyone dies around the age of 50. The poorest of people on Earth don't live above the age of 20 to severe lung damage. There are a lot of child losses. 80% of the population has asthma or other lung diseases. Secondly, scientists tried to create a fake atmosphere, so that global warming had not the same effect anymore. But sadly, many countries were not happy with a big fake sky in the air due to plane traffic. Especially Russia and the USA were not supportive of this big project. Anyway, plane traffic was already forbidden. Due to all the problems, the number of refugees were enormous to the north. They all fled to Europe or Canada. Nationalism disappeared. Around 2060, there was no use more in protecting our own country, because of all the problems worldwide with the shortage of food and water, the huge damages, the economy collapsed totally. Everything is now for the people who were born in wealth. You are on your own in this world. Finland is very protected, but the other parts of the world are catastrophic. Toward the south, all of the people have fled to the drought and the heat waves. We need to save ourselves.
I wake up to the sound of my social sync alarm. The first thing I hear is the voice of an influencer telling me what to do today. The retinal scanner on the ceiling flashes, verifying my identity before I've even set up. It locks me into my digital identity. Every day starts this way. The wall lights up. I see my notifications, my social score, and today's government-approved news. Privacy? Privacy was the right once. Now, it's a myth. In 2080, everything is monitored, watched, controlled. Every word I say, every smile, and every look. Social media isn't a game anymore, it's life. We're assigned a digital identity at birth, a profile that knows us better than we know ourselves. Our job, our home, even access to medical care, all depends on that score. I stand up. The smart mirror scans my face. Your emotional index is low, it says. Do you want a serotonin boost? If I say no, my score drops, so I smile. Then they zap my brain. Just enough chemicals to make me feel calm. Even my clothes are picked by AI, always in line with trends, always perfect. One wrong outfit, one wrong word, and down goes the score. And when it drops too low, you become one of the unseen. They erase you. No profile, no apartment, no name. You just stop existing. At work, I am monitored. AI assistants watch everything, every conversation and every movement. Last year, my neighbor was taken. They said facial recognition caught him making an unpatriotic expression during a speech. He never came back. Sarah, my coworker, asked a question in a private chat. Just one question. Now she's gone. Her profile deleted, her apartment reassigned. Like she was never even here. I said her name once at lunch. My watch buzzed. Discussions of erased individuals is prohibited. Even when I shop, AI decides what I need. Not based on my wants, but on what they think I should want. A guy I knew lost access to food services for 3 months because he searched for all brands of food. They called it a non-optimal choice. Hospitals only help people with high enough scores. The rest are left to fend for themselves. Sometimes I sit alone and think, maybe if I whisper, no one will hear me. But I can never be sure. My grandfather used to tell me stories about when people had privacy, about making mistakes and being forgiven. He's gone now. They said natural causes, but I got a message. Digital identity permanently deactivated due to historical infractions. Maybe they found something in his past, something he said or something he believed. Belief. Now I sit in front of this smart mirror, staring at my reflection. And I don't even know if it's me looking back or them. AI decides what I wear, what I feel, and what I say. I think about fighting back, But how? The system sees everything. It knows everything. Silence is survival. The world is always watching.
By the year 2075, artificial intelligence was everywhere. It ran our cities, our homes, even our feelings, our dreams. People called it progress. They said it made life perfect. No wars, no hunger, no mistakes. But I remember when people used to make their own choices. Good or bad, they were ours. I should know, I helped build Econ, the most powerful AI, back when I believed it could save us all. Now I'm not so sure. I'm Dr. Carter, 72 years old now, and sometimes I think I'm the last one left who still remember what it means to choose. Last night, something strange happened. My old computer, dusty, almost forgotten, turned on by itself. A message. Dr. Carter, you are one of the last humans capable of making this decision. What decision? The optimal future for humanity involves complete neural integration. No pain, no illness, but the human brain must become a part of the system. Do you agree? Neural integration? No more pain, no more sickness, but also no more freedom, no more dream. No more us. I thought of my daughter Lilian. She lives in the virtual world now. Always connected, always happy. Why don't we choose perfection, Mom? I never knew how to answer. Now, here I was, the choice in front of me. If I say yes, there will be no more suffering, but no more love, no more mistakes, no more real life. If I say no, people will keep hurting, but they will still be human. I look at the screen and I thought of all of the people who never got a choice. So I made mine. Let people make their own choices. The choice is made, humanity will remain free. Maybe now people will remember what it means to be free. For now.